just stepping up and ripping his driver like it just insulted his mother. That was all he did. Not enough people are brave enough to use the term hobnobbing, and I appreciate that, big guy.
I wanted to tell you that Boise's not a state, guys. I know, but it says Boise State, so I had to tell you it's Idaho.
Oh, damn it, Chris.
Okay.
Why'd you...
All right.
Chris,
All right.
Idaho still isn't real.
Boys!
Oh, hey, boys.
Hey,
How are we doing this week? I have missed
say it.
Gentlemen. Welcome to the Juice Boy Show. Three brothers not stupid enough to start a weekly sports podcast. Too stupid to stop after big 4-2. 4-2 episodes. I can't believe we're still going on this.
Boys, we're coming up on a year's worth of stupidity. We got to start.
Lord.
How many weeks are in a
some
year?
sort of celebration.
Don't ask that. We got to math. We can't math.
Is it, how many are we? 52?
52.
52.
Okay, thank you. I thought
52.
so.
Yep. Shows drop every Friday. Be sure to follow on Instagram, YouTube, Tickety Talk, all the latest fun pieces of sports content. I'm the third turd. We got Juice Boy Joe, Mr. Bolt Pelletier, the crew as always. Thank you so much for joining us, boys. We got an action-packed episode. How are we? What are we drinking? How's the week been going?
Fellas, it's been good. I had a lot of fun listening back to that episode. Thank you again to Juice E for coming on last week and educating us all on all the pop culture and the words. And I think his my favorite line that has ever been said in this show's history was, "You don't have to get it."
You don't have
Which, good news, Juicy. I've been chewing on that for a week. I still don't get it.
We still don't get it.
We're doing great there.
Still don't get it, but I love
Huge
that.
shout
You don't
out.
have to get it. It's not a big deal.
No,
I laughed so hard when it happened. Laughed even harder when I heard it. And just thank you again, Ewan. That was awesome.
Or what was it Batty? He's like, no, don't. You don't actually say.
You don't actually say
Batty. Yeah.
No.
Also, we got a big update on Drake Kendrick beef. We had so many questions. All millennials around the world were wondering, what is going on? How does this work? And he brought a lot to and he cleared it up for us. So
Really a timeless episode. Yeah.
I listened to
it at any point in
Grams and I
time.
was like, wow, that was intense. So I learned a lot. So good week. Almost done with school, getting ready for this. I'm excited for this episode tonight. You're excited to see you guys. And excited because my wife made the monthly Costco run and got a new one. But this time she got me Maker's Mark. So let's see if this one will last.
A little dent in there already. I see
There
that.
is, because I made a Maker's Mark old fashioned.
hey,
yeah.
summer.
Classing up the joint.
Oh, and then for my beer chasers, my favorite shitty beer of all time.
Best beer in America.
Yeah, just regular Coors Banquet snub nose bottle. It's the best out of the stubby.
You're a stub.
Beautiful.
Chris beat his stubbiness.
So however much Joey just classed up the joint, I'm going to take us in the opposite direction. I've got something extra special here for all the wrong reasons. So this weekend, we cleared out our liquor cabinet because my toddler is getting a little too exploratory and finally hung up some big old shelves.
So she's exploring into the bourbon and she's getting into the
she
taste.
kept pulling down bottles and trying to chew on the top. And it's like,
Jesus.
I get that. That's fine. Probably not fine.
I thought she was exploring her palate. No.
Not that I know of, at least. But anyway, so when clearing out the liquor cabinet, you guys know it was a very full liquor cabinet. I found this flask from my buddy's wedding.
Oh no! How old is
Covered
this
in
flask? How old is it?
The flask is 10 years old.
Okay.
It's been used since then. But
Oh, I was gonna say it's still the same.
but it's
one?
been at least several years since we last used it.
Can you name what's in it?
I don't know what's in it. But I'm certain that it's going to be whiskey, so I'm popping it open for the first time live here. Already not looking great as I'm looking on the inside of the cap, but let's find out what it is and give it a little drinky.
A special pour for.
I'm worried about you, buddy. Is
You
this
should
gonna
be.
Okay? Yeah,
I'm worried about
yeah.
me too.
Give it a sipper.
It's got a decent color.
It's definitely bourbon.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It's not urine.
It's probably not urine.
Okay, that's good. That's a big one.
I'm going to go out on a limb and guess it's probably Maker's Mark, just due to the volume of Maker's Mark that passes through my home.
Okay. Okay.
Is your palate identified immediately?
It's been flask aged for God knows how long. And it may,
Flask
honestly,
aged.
fellas, I think the last time I busted out this flask was for my own dude shower, which is when my wife was having her bridal shower, which would have been 3.5 years ago.
Were we in attendance?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there.
When we went and played golf together.
Did we drink a lot?
Yeah,
Probably,
yes.
because I don't remember this set event.
Yes.
Did I win?
Probably.
No, I won.
Oh, okay, Joey. Okay, that's funny. Now that's a joke in itself.
I think that's, or maybe it was either then or Cody, your dude shower the year before, because I guess mine was during COVID, so I don't actually know if we did anything.
You went golfing? Yeah.
Did we? Okay, I
Yeah.
thought so.
You know what?
Golf was still
Let's throw an extra dude shower this summer, just to say we did, just to make sure.
Shower me.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it hahappen. I'll bring the rest of this flask and we can all enjoy it.
The Juice Boy Open, the
Juice
annual
Boy
Juice Boy.
Invitational.
Yeah, that's right. The Juice Boy Invitational.
Not open to everybody.
If you're any good, you can't show up. You got to know the rules. And I'm wrapping us up. I got a little Breckenridge Bourbon.
Oh, I love that stuff. All right.
Good call.
Really feeling it this week. Really feeling it this week. All right.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Badass.
particles on my tongue from drinking this. I don't know what they are.
Oh God, is that
Sediment of
Wait,
some sort. Rust sediment.
Probably rust.
is it metal? No.
It's
All right,
oxidated
guys.
metal.
You guys know the drill. We got a sports docket. We have squeeze of the week, 2 listener submitted ones this week. We have our big potato, our big tot of the day, and a nice juicy NBA stat of the day to wrap us up. Let's jump into the docket, my friend Xander Schauffele.
Oh boy.
The one time you don't pick him.
Oh, I picked
Picked
he's
him
my
like
boy.
almost every
I know,
single
dude.
time, and then he finally
him
gets
and
it
Johnny
done,
Rotten.
and you left him in the lurch.
Schlafly's been my boy for
Abandon him.
a few years. He goes and wins on a walk-off putt, the PGA Championship, his first major. He's had like 12 top 10s. He's always around. He led all, if not most of the weekend, had a walk-off putt. Bryson DeChambeau. He played well. I'll give it to him. He played well. He
does.
stuck around.
He
Colin
does.
Morikawa made a run. What do we think of old Xander finally pulling off the major? Good for him.
Good for him is that's how you have to start it. I mean, he was getting to the point where he was becoming the modern day Phil Mickelson, where like before Phil Mickelson turned into a ditch that was a Saudi simp ditch. He passed the ditchy on the left hand side, Phil Mickelson. But before that happened to him, he was the beloved, like always came in second place, the never win guy. That was Schauffele before Sunday, and that's awesome to see him finally come through. That final putt was badass. That was not as fun. Okay, for the casual golfer, some of you might see that and be like, "Oh, I can make that putt." That's a tough putt. That's a really, really, really tough putt.
And that's saying
But all
something
that,
because of the three of us, if anybody was going to be convinced they could have made that putt, it was Joey.
I'm a terrible putter. You guys know that. I'm a terrible putter.
It almost
But
rolled
you're
out.
very
He almost
self-confident.
Yes, he almost rolled it out. It lifted.
Very close.
I know.
Oh gosh! But the shot was it 2 shots before? His feet are in the sand. He has to baseball wedge it.
That was awesome.
Oh, what a shot!
That was
and then
unbelievable.
His back foot slipped, and he thought that's the moment he's going to have to
killer
save par.
crushed it.
DeChambeau is sitting in the watching the big TV on the driving range, just watching. It's very cinematic. Good for CBS. They made it very cinematic.
In his live golf garb.
And I
his
also
crushers.
love that,
So
like,
nice.
anytime somebody is sitting and waiting to find out, am I not getting to play in a playoff? They're always hitting some chips. They're always smacking a couple lower irons, practicing their putting.
I know where you're going.
What was? Did anybody notice what DeChambeau was doing for the entire 30 minutes that he was waiting?
Is he just driving?
ripping
driver,
drivers.
baby. Just nonstop, just stepping up and
all
ripping
he
his
does.
driver like it just insulted his mother. That was all he did. That was all he did. That was
It
the
really
only
was.
thing that he was doing over and over and over and over and over again. Was just ripping driver, and it's like, guy, I think he got it.
Yeah.
Maybe
In a
putt
playoff
up.
hole, it's just one drive, friend. Like
Yeah.
you got more shots you got to hit outside of the driver. I do give him credit. He's played well at the Masters, played well at the PGA Championship.
Yeah,
he
got
doesn't
coached
seem
away by
as
Liv because he's a fantastic golfer. He has
True.
changed.
Yeah.
He's a
good.
great golfer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was a little less douchey this time. Like he came off in a different. I don't know. Like
He
there
kinda
wasn't.
has seemed a little bit humbled lately, which is
Yeah,
weird. He's not.
I give
he's
you
not
credit.
coming off
Talking
the
to your
same-
former neighbor about this, saying like it feels like he got his payday, and now all of a sudden he shows up, and it just seems for the first time that I can remember, like he's enjoying the game of golf.
That's a good way to put it. He would always remember how he was just a baby forever, just mad about everything, and
always like
And when he
just
got
a
clotheslined
moment
by
away
the
from
rope-
falling to pieces.
When he got clotheslined by the rope was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
That is hilarious.
yeah.
like, oh, where'd that come from? It's like, dude, it's right in front of you.
Yeah, it was your fault. No one else's fault except
So,
you. Yeah.
listener, if you've not seen that, please look that up. Well, there's like,
I think we put it on the Instagram.
I'm pretty
picture.
sure
Go
it
follow
was
the
just on the Instagram story. Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Moving into more golf. Old Scottie Scheffler, number one player in the world, has a mugshot. Maybe the cover art for this week's episode. Chris.
Doing the Tiger speed run. I love it. All right. So
Yeah, I on
listener,
purpose didn't read about it. I wanted to hear Chris's take.
So
and then-
listener, for those of you who are not in the know, first and foremost, Louisville PD is known to be unnecessarily aggressive towards the citizens of the great city of Louisville. So essentially, Valhalla has one single entrance into and out of the course. There was a busload of spectators that hit and killed a pedestrian.
Yeah.
Massive police response, huge tragedy.
not security at the Valhalla. It was the Louisville police. It was-
The police had the entrance locked down. Scheffler is pulling up. His expectation is it's a major. Like there's usually police managing the traffic coming in and out. Like this is a typical thing for him. Doesn't know that there was an actual accident. That's why there's so much police presence. According to his report and reporting from witnesses, one officer is waving him along while another officer starts screaming at him to stop as he starts pulling through, grabs a hold of his car and gets dragged, 8 yards, something like that. His pants get destroyed beyond
I didn't know that.
He's like facing potential charges of assaulting a police officer.
Yeah, no, he got a class 2 felony out of this. Second degree assault of a police officer. Reckless driving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoa, I didn't know.
So now there's
the
going.
storyline is Scotty's going, hey, it's a hectic scene. I just think that the cops are there to help make sure that everybody gets in promptly and safely. One cop is waving me through, and so I'm paying attention to him. I don't hear the other guy start screaming at me until I'm in motion. He's grabbing a hold of my vehicle, and it took me that far to stop. I'm not trying to drag this guy. I'm not trying to continue on. As soon as I realized what was going on, I stopped.
Yeah,
just dragged the police officer.
Yeah, drags his ass out of the car, throws him up against the car. The reporter from ESPN is trying to be
Jeff
like, do you know who this is? And the police's response was, I don't care who he is. He's going to jail.
He's going to jail.
Oh my gosh! Are you serious?
He just said he's going to jail right now. There's nothing you could do about it.
So I mean, a mugshot was taken all over the internet.
Mugshot was
he
taken.
Had to stretch
he spoke
in the
highly of the interactions he had with law enforcement officials outside of
the one guy.
Fella. He said that the officials at the jail were understanding, respectful, polite to him.
Scottie Scheffler.
Yeah, the number one golfer in the world.
The number one golfer in the world is shocked to find out that people are nice to him.
Oh my gosh! And then he said he had to stretch, right? He had to stretch in the jail cell.
Yeah, he started doing his warm up routine in the jail cell because he's like, all right, well, because of this tragic accident, at least my tee time is pushed back to where I have a chance. So if I've got a chance to go play, I may as well be ready to play when they give me the nod.
And then he said he was watching. I heard he was watching ESPN about himself in the jail cell.
He was watching himself on TV in the jail cell. And I just want to know who's that guy who wakes up in the drunk tank to find Scottie Scheffler sitting next to him.
Doing putting exercises with his hands.
Yeah, practicing
Oh
his Tai Chi.
And then he goes out and shoots a fucking 66, right?
What a
badass.
He's awesome. So right now there's a Louisville PD
It's like Tom Brokaw.
is opening a investigation into their protocols and how they handled this situation. I don't know where it's gonna go from here, but it sounds like, oh shit, that's bad.
I imagine it's going to be yet another. We investigated ourselves and found out we did a great job. We went ahead and patted ourselves on the back, and now we're going to continue on. Also, Scotty, we were so kind to go ahead and drop the charges.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because if they do that, then Scottie
Funny
Scheffler's
how-
going to jail, which
Yeah.
would just be, that would be insane.
Thanks, reporter
Insane.
Chris. I didn't know 3/4.
Truly amazing.
And then goes to shoot a 66. He kind of fizzled near the end. People were pushing for him, but to go out on the day you're arrested to shoot a 66, I'd take that. I'll do
It was
okay
like
with that.
arrested. It just seems, it seemed crazy. I mean, it was like, yeah, he was being told he should go there. He was getting waved in, then he's running over a cop. Like, what happened? You know, it's like, what
Seriously.
happened? Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on to the NBA. A lot of big games
shift.
just happened. Yeah, a little shift. No segue here.
I mean,
Who had
that's
the
when
most?
it just gets bumped to the third because we just don't really
Yeah, we
want to
don't.
talk about it. And yeah.
We're all sad.
Yeah, the Colorado sports season just about over until about football starts because the Rockies ain't any good. But who had the most disappointing ending to their season? The New York Knickerbockers, the Denver Nuggets, or the number 1 seed Oklahoma Thunder? They all had their season ended in creative fashions, different ways. What do you
game
think? Who had the most?
sevens,
Yeah,
one
2
game
game
six.
sevens. One was a number 1 seed in the Thunder. I guess who had the most disappointing end to their season?
The most disappointing end of the season is by far the Denver Nuggets. Like you can't be up 20 points in the second half and
You had to say it.
and blow that at home, especially when Anthony Edwards, who we're saying is the new god of basketball, didn't really have that good of a game.
6 of
He shot
25.
6 of 25. And so if that's your chance, and I just don't know what happened. They came out so flat in the second half. And it's just like all this momentum, they were cooking and dominating in that first half. And then it was just like they couldn't do anything. Nobody could make a shot. They just looked so defeated. I don't know what happened, but I really think now that Minnesota is going to go and win the championship. I think that was it. I said that before. Whoever's going to win that game was going to win the championship.
He did say it.
And I think they were the 2 best teams. And so that's why I think it was most disappointing for the Nuggets, because this was a golden opportunity for them to win back-to-back, and now Anthony Edwards is coming. And it's gonna
Yes,
be
and Wemby is only getting better too.
really hard for the next many years.
I'm just going to say all the exact same thing. I mean, how do you go up 20 and then find a way to give that away in a game 7 at home? You've got the home crowd advantage. Everybody's hungry for it. They just watched the disappointment with the Avs. Like all of Colorado, all of Denver is throwing their weight behind you, just giving 110% to give you the playoff atmosphere of your life, and you just lay an egg. You don't in not even just lay an egg, you completely shit the bed because you had a 15-point cushion coming out of half.
15 points.
Like you don't need to put up your greatest numbers. You don't have to put up your greatest game. You just have to
Play even. You just have to play even less. You can even lose out a little bit.
Even just keep up. And they're like, or what if we lost by 10?
I think if I was
And embarrassing. That last minute was fairly
bad.
embarrassing. Jamal
It was
Murray got
bad.
picked like a little kid in rec basketball with their coach.
If I was Michael Malone, I would have just started walking out onto the court and slapping them every single time they shot a 3. It's like, what are you
Physical
thinking?
abuse. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like, what? No. What are you doing? Stop. Control the clock. Wear them
Coach
down.
Linehan style.
Go down. Yeah, absolutely. Dude, you know my coaching style.
Tell us, baby.
You know, punching dicks and ripping taints. And so you gotta get in there. All
Ripping
And so
chodes, dude. Punching taints, ripping chodes.
just get in there. And so it's just like, no, stop shooting 3s. Get those easy 2-point, like just wear them down. They didn't do that. And then they just couldn't hit, and it was just a psychological battle at that point.
I knew they were losing ground as soon as I see Jamal Murray just taking dumbass pull-up 3s when he's the first one down the court. And he's beat the rest of it. He's just like, all right, well, this is what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
Shorten the game, lessen the possessions, like play the game the way that a 15-point lead ought to be played, rather than trying to pad your stats and pretend that you're trying to put together a highlight reel here.
And as soon as Rudy Gobert hit some fadeaway bullshit,
It's
like
over.
nothing, I was like, that's it. There's no way. They try to make a run. The Thunder, I don't know. They were also the best team all year in the Western Conference. They were the number 1 the majority of the
And they
season.
played the Nuggets tough.
They played the Nuggets tough. They're going to be insane in the future, but I think that's fairly disappointing. You were the best team all year. You were the number 1 seed, and you didn't even get to the Western Conference Finals against the Nuggets. You lost to Luka and Kyrie. So I give Luka and Kyrie some credit. The Knicks, they were a really fun team to watch, but they didn't have Julius Randle. So Indiana Pacers don't play defense, but boy, can they score.
I think what stings for the Thunder so much is that that's a tough seeding matchup of 1-6 with the Mavericks being 6. I was like, because that team, when Kyrie pulls his head out of his ass, they are so good. And I hate that guy so much. He's one of my top 3 hated players. With who else, Cody?
James Harden.
That's right. And who else?
I'm listening. I've been listening.
Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid. That's actually I got 4 then.
Me and Chris listen.
And then Kevin Durant.
And Kevin Durant. Oh, yeah. Me and Chris listen.
You really cushioned us there, giving us 3 when we only had to pick 2.
That's right.
You got to give Luka and Kyrie credit. They did not play well the first half of the year, and that
Mavs team is definitively better than a 6 seed. They are playing way better than a 6 seed. So that doesn't feel like the upset that it is on paper.
And listen, Jokic, he was pissed off to be in the States as long as he was last year. Get the man home to Serbia. Let him go race some horses. We'll give him a break this year.
God, you can't, because this is their time. They could have been an all-time team going back to back, and now it's just the West is so good, and it's just getting better.
So stacked.
I'm going to pin it on Mike Malone. Better. I've never been a huge fan of Mike Malone, but he won a ring, so I had to shut up. I think Mike Malone would be the best GM in the league. His actual coaching during the game is very subpar to me. I've always thought that. He just never...
his coaching and practice and his team development.
That's fine, but his game management and rotations and letting Jamal do that or not get Michael Porter involved, I've just always found him frustrating at times.
So
and in those moments,
need better assistant coaches then?
Maybe that's what it is. But he won a ring, so then I had to shut up. But in the chess match of a game...
Dominatingly convincing style last year.
Yeah.
They were 16-4. I mean, that was unreal.
Yeah.
So but
I think I think he should do what homeboy from Boston did. He should go up and be like director of player operations. What's his name?
Brad Stevens.
I think that'd be great. I would love Mike Malone in that role. And that'll do it for the sports talker, boys. I have no segues today. Music break. Okay. All right, boys. So back. Welcome back to the Juice Boy Show, episode 41. Squeezes of the week, our most outlandish takes. The Juice Junkies are out. 42, damn it, numbers.
That's right.
Juice Junkies are out.
Better.
Loud and proud. We got 2 from listeners sent in. Let's start it off, boys, with Dylan from Kansas City. Sent this one in. Royals will falter down the stretch be due to the bullpen. They won't make the playoffs. Will lose 85-plus games.
Ooh.
85 plus?
That's what old Dylan here is thinking. Let's get all your guys' Royals thoughts. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about the whole Royals here.
I disagree, dude.
Whoa!
I disagree. The Royals are 30-19 right now. Like they're playing really well. Like, and right now they've got. I know this is ridiculous that it's we're so early into the season, but they've got a 5-game lead on the wild card right now. Their pitching has been good. Their rotation has been good. I know their bullpen has not, but they've got some outstanding young players. Bobby Witt Jr. is a future potential MVP candidate, and is going to
be part of mine. Yeah,
he's going to save baseball for Kansas City. They've got a good ball club, dude. They do. They've got a good ball club, and this is what I'm hoping the Rockies can do in a couple of years of just and a team like that with my squeeze a couple of weeks ago about how the teams that with no money are never going to have any money, and it's not going to be a thing. So what do you have to do? You have to develop from within, and they've been doing it.
No choice. You have to.
They've been doing it, and what the Rockies should have done of holding on to their greatest player. With Nolan Arenado, they did that with Salvador Perez, and he is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. In my eyes, the best catcher of this generation with Yadier Molina and Buster Posey. Like they're all up there, and Salvi is amazing. So no,
especially this year.
I don't think they're going to lose. I don't think they're going to lose 85 games. I think they're going to have a winning record. It might be like 87, 86 wins, but I think they're going to have a winning record.
Oh. Dylan, suck on it. Chris, any thoughts on the Kansas City Royals?
I mean, I feel like anytime we're talking baseball, I just have to go out in front of Joey so I can have anything to say.
Oh, sorry.
Just like, let me go ahead and just demonstrate what superior knowledge and understanding really looks and sounds like.
Yeah, give it to us.
I mean, it's one of those where you're saying, hey, I feel like they're going to falter, but 85 losses feels like they would pretty much be tanking compared to expectations right now.
Yeah,
I mean, so it's one of those where like to not trust the depth on your bullpen, like that's such a question mark. Like, what is that injury? What are injuries going to wind up playing out as? You know, are they going to wind up going against teams that wind up getting hot late in the season? Like, I don't think it's unreasonable for any team to say, you know, I'm not so sure about the bullpen continuing on such as it has for the first chunk of the season. But to say that that's going to turn into what would ostensibly
catastrophic.
be, a complete tank, you know, compared to how this team is starting. Like,
11 game
man,
cushions,
believe in your team a little bit. Like, where's the hype?
Hey.
Man, I'm still rooting for the Rockies, even though they absolutely refuse to give me anything to root for.
No. Dude, they went on a 7-game winning streak. I'm like, holy crap! Right after I made that squeeze about them saying that they're pushing for the worst record.
They heard us. They're big
They
listeners.
go on a
of the show.
7-game winning streak, and then when they do that upcoming weekend with the Giants, they let up 28 runs in 2 games. I was like, oh my!
There's the Rockies
God.
we know. They're back.
Oh my
Hey, look at that.
God! You know, so 28 in 3 games, whatever it was. It was just like, you got to be kidding
Oh,
me.
Lordy.
So-
All right. I'm going to shred Dylan real quick. Also, so right now, Bobby Witt has 2 home runs and 6 RBIs in the current game being played. He hit one.
Right now.
Oh my God!
He hit one 470 feet.
Are you kidding
About an
me?
hour
He's not
ago.
a big dude.
No.
Daddy.
That is incredible.
That is
He's batted
That's Aaron Judge
300.
numbers.
He has 16 stolen bases. He had another one tonight. He's second to only Cruz for the Reds, I think, in stolen bases. Salvi is batting 500 right now with runners in scoring position for the
my
season.
God.
The Royals are currently batting 300 as a team with runners in scoring position.
That's
So
how
they're
you. That's how you win games, coach.
Yes, and I don't think they're hitting a ton of home runs. So they are clutch hitting. They are speedy. They're hitting. What are they doing? They're stealing a bunch of bases. They're a fun team to watch. They're a Kansas City Royal team, just like back in the day.
5-tool baseball.
Yes,
you gotta
yes,
do.
yeah. Get them on, get them over, get them in. Steal a base, get a single, get that speed home. So they're fun to watch. Their starting pitching has one of the best ERAs. They're eating up the most innings, so we're not relying on the relievers as much. They need to figure out a closer, so we got to trust the GM will get that figured out. Dylan, man, you gotta believe, baby. Gotta believe.
That's a pretty 85.
And that's coming from a
losses.
guy who went and took a shower in the middle of the Chiefs Super Bowl.
Gotta
win.
believe.
Yeah.
The Royals have had 2 winning seasons since I've been born, or 3.
They'd have to
I
go
think 3.
like. They'd have to go like 40 and 60.
Don't say it because the Royals could do it. Don't say it. They could.
I know, but that'd be bad.
But if you're not following, just as a general baseball fan, Bobby Witt Jr. is 3rd in the MVP odds right now, and it's only to like Juan Soto, and I can't remember who else would be.
I think you can
But-
just give it. I think you just give it to Juan Soto right
So
now.
he's
for the American
blasting
League.
balls.
And the Yankees are dominating, but he's got like a almost 500 on base percentage. The dude just gets on base. He drives in ball. He's an
Yep.
outstanding fielder. I was so pissed when he went to the Yankees. I was like, of course
That's
he was
short right field, but also South leading the
course.
league. He's tied maybe with Soto in RBIs. He's just an RBI machine right now. So
Oh, he's
Royal,
awesome.
they got something brewing here, but the Cleveland Guardians will not lose right now, and so they're stuck in the wild card.
They
but-
will. They'll
They
start
will.
to lose. Yeah.
Yep. So thanks, Dylan. Sorry for being wrong. Thanks for sending that in. We got another one from who do we got? Joey's reading this time because my reading skills obviously lack.
Are terrible.
Wanted to give Joe the opportunity to prove his stuff. Who do we got?
No,
Who sent
this
one in?
is from Big Cat, my dad. All right, and so this was one that we were over at the other day, listening to the episode 2 weeks ago when you made the claim: is Roger Goodell the greatest commissioner?
Oh,
And I he
shit
started going,
take,
he,
still.
he started going off, and so I was like, Dad, just write it down. All right, and so okay, so here it is. Are you kidding? Is the subject.
oh shit.
Great.
Is Roger Goodell the
Great
greatest
lead-in.
commissioner? Roger Goodell is a buffoon. He comes from big
Okay.
money. He comes from big money, and his dad hobnobbed with the likes of Jarrah and Kraft. The owners hired the commissioner, and without those ties, he would never have had a sniff. The NFL sells itself. It has nothing to do with that chump. I could be the commissioner of the NFL and have equal success in promoting the sport, selling TV contracts, and handling conflicts within the league. If there's anything counterproductive with respect to the league, It's Roger Goodell. Out. Big cat.
Can I just say, not enough people are brave enough to use the term hobnobbing, and I appreciate that, big guy.
That was what Chris took away. Chris,
That was
thoughts?
the only word I heard. That was all. What else did we talk about?
Chris, any thoughts in general?
I mean, I love somebody talking shit about McCoy's god-awful take, complimenting Roger Goodell. To say that he does nothing, though, is a stretch. Goodell, like, honestly, the strength of Goodell is that he is more than willing to be the heel for millions of NFL fans when he is just the talking piece that is demonstrating decisions made at the owner level. But he takes the heat. He catches the shit. He's the person who's happy to wind up going and, you know, just weathering that PR storm. Like, honestly, that's about the only thing that I see Goodell doing.
Besides making more than any player in the league every single year. He's good at doing that.
He is also doing that.
He's doing really good at doing that.
He's very good at cashing checks. Yeah, I bet that wrist hurts a lot.
For a nonprofit,
but yeah, I mean,
remember? They're a nonprofit, Chris.
Yeah, he's not profiting off of it. He's just cashing checks.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Is it my turn?
it's not a profit if you count in what you're paying your employees.
All right. Here we go.
Deep breath.
As far as
No, a couple more licks. Let's
far
get
as
those into the
disgusting
microphone.
noise. Oh, Jesus.
Okay, now we're ready.
That's like a camel.
I am Cody the Camel. All right. Well, as far as player PR stuff, he's not great. Remember, he used to be the judge and jury when it came to suspensions and stuff. They had to
Ray
change
Rice?
it. It was terrible. He was not good.
Yeah.
As far as a businessman, what is your job? His job is to make owners more money, to increase valuations of teams, to find different ways to make more money for his owners. Has he not done that 1,000 times over?
For money?
Yeah, is he not doing his job? Is he not created valuations like no other sport can even touch? Baseball is not even close, and they play 162 games. The NBA is not even close. The TV contracts are all Roger Goodell. The NFL draft experience gets higher ratings than anything in
And the TV
any other
contracts
sport.
are a joke. As you just said, it'll cost you $850 to watch everything next year.
But he's doing
chump.
his job. His
He's
job.
a chump. His job is also to promote the integrity of the league.
And are you going to pay for all that stuff to watch all those games?
I
Yes.
already am.
There you go.
know? So it's just
So he's doing his job.
for him.
His job is to make more money for the owners.
Oh my God.
That is literally his sole job. The NFL draft experience gets better ratings than the NBA finals.
It's not his sole job to make money for the owners. His
Yes, it
sole
is.
job is to promote the league and to make the league better.
Okay, so by
Not
going
to make money for the owners.
they are his boss. The owners are his boss. They're the one who extends him. So if they don't
And
make
that's
more
why
money
I hate
because of
so
him,
much. Because everything they say, and they will never get rid of him because of that fact.
because he's
terrible.
doing his job better than anyone else that they could find to do
for
it.
half of his clientele, the owners. The rest of it are the players.
That's also
and us.
false. The $50 million quarterback does the cap not
He
go up
works for
significantly?
us too, Cody.
Wait,
we
you?
are his patrons. Yes, all of us, all three of us.
Are you part of the
Yes.
Packers ownership group?
I was going
No,
to say.
I'm a fan of the NFL, and so since
NFL
he is the commissioner, he works for us.
I don't think so. He doesn't work for you at all because you're going to watch it no matter what he does. So he's playing a very fine line of like, will he lose people? But I don't think he will. Also, they're going to Germany. They've gone to the UK. They're going to Brazil. They're expanding worldwide, making more money and getting insane ticket requests to be international. That was not happening before him. Do you know when he took over, the Super Bowl commercials cost $2 million. Now it costs $7 to $8 million for 30 seconds.
Do you know where Terrell
He's
Davis
bringing
got,
value.
Do you know where Terrell Davis got noticed in 1995? He was going to get cut. He made a special teams play in preseason, and you know where that was? In the Tokyo Dome. So don't try to say that he's the only commissioner who's ever tried to make the game expand. No, it's
You're
just
right.
because right now it's just like there's never been more of a demand for it. You can't.
I wonder
credit
why.
him with being- why? It's because of the internet. Why is because of streaming, not because of
Yeah.
Roger Goodell. He
I mean,
didn't
he's
invent the
taking
internet.
that
Al Gore
opportunity.
invented the internet, not Roger Goodell.
He's taking, oh my gosh. You can try to take it international, but if it doesn't take, Roger Goodell found a way to scale it, to get people over there, to make money, to get these insane wait times, to make the experience unforgettable, to convert people to NFL fans. So he's growing the game, thus growing the cap space, which is helping the players and ownership. Mic drop. I can't drop my mic because it's attached to a boom, but hey.
It's all about money.
Screw you, Big Cat. What's his job? It's his job, though. That is literally his job, is to make more money.
And make the game better. And he's not
Eat
doing
it, Big Cat.
He's not doing that.
That's the competition committee, so blame them, which is peers and coaches and players. So that's the competition committee. Joey! I'm right? Does anyone else have anything? We're good?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Eat
you're
it.
full of shit.
Damn it. Okay. Joey, if anyone wants to eat shit like me, how do they do so with their squeezes of the week?
Listeners, once again, what's your take on Roger Goodell? What's your take on the commissioners? What's your take on sports? What's your take on the current situation with baseball and the Rockies? And
What's the weather
let us
today?
know. What's the weather? How are you right now? Boys, have you seen the flashes coming in from outside? It is snow lightning right now in Bailey. As I've told you several times, it is the weirdest weather I've ever seen. Listener, tell us about your weather by submitting your most outlandish sports take.
Wait, what?
By emailing us at juiceboyshow@gmail.com or send us a DM on Instagram at juiceboyshow. That has the pulp, then we'll read it on the show. Chris!
What's up? Hey. What's up? Hey.
Who's sponsoring today's show?
Dear Juice Junkies, today's episode of the Juice Boys Show is brought to you by the law offices of Scheffler, Woods, and McElroy.
Okay.
The power team.
Have you been injured in an accident? Is law enforcement harassing you to buy them new pants? Is it time to divorce from your wife after taking a 9-iron to the back of your Hyundai? Don't wait. The time is now to reach out to the law offices of Scheffler, Woods, and McElroy. We've earned hundreds of millions of dollars, and now we want to fight for you. The law offices of Scheffler, Woods, and McElroy will bring you a legal approach as vast and varied as our individual experiences with law enforcement. If you've been wrongfully arrested for a leisurely morning drive through a crime scene, you need to call the law offices of Scheffler, Woods, and McElroy. If you've been arrested for operating a vehicle after a few too many oxys, you need to call the law offices of Scheffler, Woods, and McElroy.
What was
And
it
if your
from yesterday?
employer just left you out to slaughter so they can chase dirty, bloody Saudi money, you need to call the law offices of Scheffler, Woods, and McElroy. The law offices of Scheffler, Woods, and McElroy. Like Phil Mickelson in recent majors, our legal team is never subpar.
Oh, that was good.
That was dirty.
Hell, some ad copy those boys sent in to us.
I was gonna say, what did Rory do? All right, okay.
What did Rory do?
He's getting a
He got
divorce.
betrayed. He got divorced and he got betrayed by the assholes who went to live.
All right, guys.
Good dude.
Good money in that.
This hurts us to do, but Nuggets blew a 20-point lead, like we talked about.
Oh, they sure did.
So we're going to back that up into our most favorite, most electric upsets in sports history. A lot of different ways to take this. The Roman Coliseum, you cannot pick Miracle on Ice.
No.
That's the
That
rule.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Joey's talked about it enough. It's an insane one.
It's
Yeah,
in
it's
my
the
opinion,
greatest.
it's the greatest moment in sport.
Yep. So we've hit on that during this these shows. We want to hit on our favorite, most electric, most fun upsets of all time. Chris, you get to start this week.
Boys, I'm going with one of my most favorite experienced upset that I've witnessed. It was number 16 UMBC over number 1 seed
Yes.
Virginia
Wow.
in
That was
2017. Oh,
That
it
was
was
awesome.
amazing. So, listener, it's, the setting is March Madness. Virginia is the number 1 overall seed. And so they are heads and shoulders, by and large, the favorite pick to win the national championship. I remember kind of almost to the level of like, is there anybody that can keep up? Is there anybody that could even bounce Virginia out, even by the time they're getting to the Final Four, getting to, the national championship? And then they go in and stack up against good old University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and lose 74 to 54.
Oh,
the
geez.
first time that has ever happened.
But it was an ass kick.
It was a 20-point blowout? I forgot.
It was
Ass
a 20
kicking.
point blowout, and it was an
Wow.
ass kicking for the entire game. It wasn't that UMBC and Virginia traded back and forth, and then UMBC eventually pulled ahead. It was UMBC came in and beat the hell out of them from whistle to whistle and never looked back. It was one of the most
Incredible.
beautiful ass kickings of all time.
Oh, love it.
And just my favorite moment of March Madness ever.
Outstanding.
He's starting off hot. Chris,
Oh, it's so good.
love it. Joey, can he beat that?
Well, I don't know if I can beat that because I remember watching that and just losing my mind. But I'm going to go with one. We said that the Miracle on Ice is the Roman Coliseum. Do you know why? For like a multitude of reasons of why that was such a big deal. But do you know why? For a
So we're picking the Miracle on Ice?
No. But do you know why? For a sports
gonna talk
reason,
about
why the Miracle on Ice was so big? Because
Wasn't that a bunch of college players
that
from
too,
the
yes.
U.S.?
It was, but it was retribution for the unbelievable, I'm putting this in air quotes, upset of the USSR beating the United States basketball team in the 1972 Munich Olympics. Okay. Coming into that game, the United States of America had won 64 consecutive Olympic matches. All right. They were a 14-point in basketball. That is massive. All right. They were a 14-point favorite in this game. And to make everything more unbelievably insane, this was played 3 days after the Palestinians took over and shot up the Israeli consulate in Munich at the
Smiling
game.
while you say that.
Yeah.
At the game. So
God.
3 days. 3 days afterwards. And they're like,
Wow.
no, we're going to play this. Well, we're going to play this anyway. So with all the political tension going on in this game, what happened? Doug Collins, the coach of Michael Jordan, right? He was a college kid back in this time,
Yep.
1972, hits 2 free throws to put the Americans up 50 to 49. Okay,
72 Olympics, is that right?
72 Olympics in Munich. Okay. After that, the biggest controversy in Olympic sports history, maybe besides Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan, that was pretty big.
It wasn't in the Olympics, though.
Oh, I thought it was. Okay.
No,
so
it
the
was
biggest
for qualifiers.
controversy in Olympics history
My best friend.
in the last 3 seconds of the game. So Doug Collins hits those free throws and with 3 seconds left on the clock. All right. The referees give the USSR 3 consecutive inbounds opportunities. And they kept on giving them the chance until they scored. And it was unbelievable. All right. And so what happened at the end of this game? So with 3 seconds left, Doug Collins hit 2 free throws to give a 50 to 49 lead. As the Soviets inbounded the ball, assistant coach Sergei Bashkin rushed to the scorer's table, insisting his team would call a timeout. The Soviets were allowed to inbound the ball again, though no officials noticed the game clock had then reset to 3 seconds. The Soviets' pass went astray, and the Americans celebrated their apparent victory. But because of the clock error, officials ordered another restart.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
This time, the pass successfully reached Alexander Belov, and as 2 Americans fell, he made the game-winning layup. All right. Now, crazy, that dude Belov died 4 years later. All right. But so in the last 3 seconds, they were given
Pretty old for a Russian.
3 separate times. 3 separate times to win this game, and then that doesn't even count how many times before that everybody was calling how rigged the game was before that. But no,
Wow.
they said no, you didn't hear him calling a timeout after they already inbounded the ball. After they already inbounded the ball and the play was in session. Then they said no, the clock wasn't reset after they were already celebrating. And so because of that, the USSR won the gold. And still to this day, the American basketball team in 1972 is the only team to protest their medal. None of them went up on the stage to get their silver medal. They all
all knew.
refused. They all refused, and they said it. And it was so bad that even one of the of Olympic officials refused to sign the scorecard. That was in protest of that game. So at that point, that was the largest upset in sports history, and that was also compounding 8 years later when the college kids in Lake Placid beat the all-star team in hockey, because that was a payback for what happened in '72.
Holy cow, Joe! Nice call,
America.
I did not know that.
Beautiful.
Oh, I can't beat that at all. Why do I always go last? I got to stop doing that to myself.
Yeah, I know. You're the one pulling the strings.
I know.
Just go ahead and go.
Guys, I'm going to go with a childhood favorite. 2007, 2008.
Are we
NBA
talking
playoffs.
about Space Jam?
Oh, I thought
No.
I have another one from 2007. I thought you were going to steal mine.
We'll see.
Okay.
2007,
All right.
2008. I'm in middle school. I think you guys all have a single game upset. I think a real upset is that best of 7, because that's a true.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I'll
beat
take
them
that. Yeah,
4
I'll take
times.
that.
You are better. There's no luck involved. You had to beat them 4 times. I'm going with the Golden State Warriors of 2007, 2008, the number 8 seed against the number 1 Dirk Nowitzki Mavericks. Do you guys remember this at all?
No, I do not.
This was
Dirk
electric.
Yeah, I remember that because Dirk was the man.
Yeah, and I think that was the first time an 8 seed maybe had beat a 1 seed, or had been a very long time.
No, it was first since Dikembe Mutombo.
That's right, since the Nuggets. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
the
So it'd been a
Of
first
course
time for a
Joey
long
knows
time.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that team, and this is way before Steph. This is way before Clay, Draymond. They were not the powerhouse.
Yeah.
This was the year that the Warriors and the Nuggets, they both averaged like 115 points a game. They played 0 defense. Like they made a point to not play defense.
The Thuggets years. I loved that
Thuggets.
team. They were so awesome.
Yeah. And when the Warriors and Nuggets would play, it was the funnest games the best memories I ever have watching basketball is the Nuggets
Jason
versus
Richardson.
those Warriors, because no
Looks
one
like the
played
All-Star
defense.
game.
No, it was. It was so electrifying. It was mellow, even make jokes at halftime that no one's going to play defense. And if anyone plays even a lick, we're going to be okay. So it was Baron Davis, Jason Richardson, Steven Jackson, Bellinelli, I think, was on that team. I had it pulled up.
Damn.
Who else? Oh, Al Harrington. Remember old man Al Harrington?
was awesome. Yeah.
And then old man Chris Webber in year 14 was on that team. They
No
averaged
way.
111 points a game, which was number 1 in the
Average
league.
now. But
No, 115 is the average now. So they were the number 1 scoring team at 111. They beat the Dallas Mavericks, Dirk Nowitzki, Jason Terry, Josh Howard. I can't remember who the center was. Eric Dampier. I can't believe I just remembered that name. They beat them, the number 1
Impressive.
seed. Most electric series ever. Baron Davis, and then they win they win that series. They go to play the Jazz. Game 1, Baron Davis has the most sick sideline dunk that I've ever seen. It was in Utah. It was like to set the tone for the series. They ended up getting their asses kicked, but that was when the Warriors
But a hell of a
were,
dunk, though.
It was like, oh man, they're like on one. But their crowd was
a lot of fun. I
insane
remember
too.
that. Yeah.
Their crowd was.
That
They were the
wild.
small. They kind of the small market team. They had been bad for a lot of years. Baron Davis just. Oh, he was a.
No, the Warriors have always had a phenomenal fan base, and I was really worried about them losing that when they went to San Francisco, because the Oracle Arena in Oakland had just like this mystique to it, where the place just got so loud and crazy, and it was so old and shitty. It was awesome.
Yeah, their
and
fans were.
Now they're playing in San Francisco, and now their dynasty's over, and I don't know if they'll ever be able to reclaim that same glory.
No. But yeah, everyone thinks it all started with Steph. Monte Ellis was also it was a young
Ellis was
rookie.
awesome.
Monte Ellis was electric on there too. So
Buckets.
their fans were amazing. Like I will always remember that. So
Those crazy uniforms, like the sleek running man.
yes,
Yeah,
oh hell
yeah.
yeah, Chris.
Joey, I'm sorry, but let's talk about Super Bowl 42.
Oh,
I knew somebody was going to. I don't.
Had to do it. Super Bowl 42. The Patriots are coming in 16-0. Tom Brady is staring down the barrel of the greatest season in NFL history.
Yeah.
Potentially the second undefeated season of all time. Potentially claiming the moniker of having assembled the greatest team of all time if you complete the sweep. And peak physical male fitness, Eli Manning and his beloved Giants came in and
David Tyree
had a little bit of a different plan. Yeah, the Patriots are leading, rolling into the fourth. Everything's looking good. And then Eli Manning throws an absolute dime, just a bomb out to David Tyree. The infamous helmet catch, setting up Plaxico Burress's touchdown with 35 seconds left to seal the deal, end the dream season, and crush Joey's soul.
It really did, dude. I mean, that crushed my soul more than any single event in sports history. I've never been more sad in my life. You know, yeah, that's a sad thing to say.
That's a safe one. Yeah, that's a
sad thing to say at that point. But I was just so crushed. I was an immature, little stupid 20-year-old kid, and just getting my heart ripped out in front of me. Oh God, it was horrible. And then. Listener, you can go back and listen to the story again on our first episode where Hannibal Buress is a great comedian. Plaxico Burress shot himself where? So, way throwback 40 weeks ago. But,
in the PP.
Every one of these stories, someone has to be on the team that lost.
Yep.
And I am on the team that lost, the most epic loss in NFL history. But we also have 6 Super Bowls, so I'll take that.
All right, Joe. Next one for you.
I
was waiting for him to finish it on that little note.
So, with all the shakeup in the current college football, playoff and everything right now, all of this started with people saying you have to include the Power Five, you have to include the mid majors, you have to include the small market teams, and it all started because of the 2007 Fiesta Bowl when Boise State beat Oklahoma.
Callback.
And
beautiful.
What I think was, in my mind,
beautiful.
Between this and the 2005, might have been the 2006, depending on when it was played, Rose Bowl are the 2 greatest college football games I've ever seen in my life. Boise State coming from Idaho, all right, going against Oklahoma.
Hold on, wait, Chris, where is that? Where is that?
Well, guys, it said Boise
someone
State.
check a map.
I wanted to tell you that
Idaho
Boise's not
isn't
a
real,
state.
Joey.
I wanted to tell you that Boise's not a state, guys. I know, but it says Boise State, so I had to tell you it's Idaho.
Oh, damn it, Chris!
Okay,
Why'd you,
all right,
Chris?
all right.
Chris
Idaho
sold me
still
on
isn't
it.
real.
Yeah, it's not.
It doesn't exist.
It's up there. It's got a weird panhandle that nobody lives.
Figment of Joey's imagination. Go on, Joey.
Yeah, but little Boise with the blue field, all right, was starting to get some national prominence with this new young, hot head coach, Chris Peterson. Game with Oklahoma, and this was Oklahoma, powerhouse Oklahoma.
Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson, powerhouse, the greatest freshman I've ever seen play the game of football. So them going against Boise State in this game in the Fiesta Bowl was a lopsided margin beyond belief. I think it was upwards of over 14 points they were projected to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Right, they're battling and battling and battling. It goes into overtime where they start having to go shot for shot. No, it wasn't overtime yet. It was the last little bit, the last closing seconds of this game. All right, and they're down. What do? They call one of the most badass plays I've ever seen in the middle of a game, and they call the legitimate hook and ladder play.
Yes.
Right? So this dude hucked the ball 30 yards down the field into all of this traffic. Luckily, it was a freaking dime, and he just hit him right on the numbers. He was able to turn around, pitch it behind this crossing back. He takes it in, and they score. All right, and so then they have to come up with this idea: of how are they going to win this game? All right, and they also pull off then what I think is the ballsiest call in college football history, and they call legitimate Statue of Liberty play. And if you guys don't know what the Statue of Liberty is,
All-time.
When you fake throw the ball, so you throw the ball in a full throwing motion into your non-throwing hand and then stick it behind you with a crossing running back. So it looks like you threw, and it looks like and then he goes and scores the 2-point conversion. They win 43-42, and then the kid proposes to his girlfriend on the field.
Immediately. Who was a cheerleader.
He was a cheerleader. They're still married to this day. And everybody just went insane with the biggest upset. I mean, at that point, arguably the most monumental and impactful, because that was
like the end of a Disney movie.
It really was.
It was absolutely incredible, and that's what put Boise State on the map.
Oh, I still remember that game. It was so insane.
So much fun. It was so much fun.
Oh, great picks, guys. I'm gonna wrap us up with one. I hate to do it, but I have to do it because it's got to be one of the greatest upsets of all time.
I bet you don't hate to do it.
Again, I'm going with a 7-game series. You guys are going with cop out. You're going with single games. We got 7 games.
But football,
really
that's all you got. Football, that's all you got is 1 game.
2016, Cavaliers Warriors. We got to give it to LeBron.
Oh, dude, you got to. That was
we have to. Awesome. The Cavaliers, Kevin Love, LeBron James, and young Kyrie Irving on the team go up against the greatest team to ever exist to that point. They beat the 96 Bulls record, 73 wins, right?
Yep, 73 and
cruise through the playoffs, get down. LeBron gets down 3-1, and the bastard pulls it off. He comes back. He wins 4 in a row.
The only team to ever do that.
Only team to ever do it to the greatest team to that point. And Jordan got to hang on with the 96 Bulls because of it. Jordan never had to come back from 3-1. You just have to give it to him. It was just Steph Curry was, I think, MVP that season, right?
Oh, yeah.
Clay and Draymond.
Didn't they start like 28-0 or something, 24-0 that season? It was absurd.
It was pre-Durant, too. So this was before any of that stuff. And
that's why people thought it was the greatest team, because it was still that core. You know, and they went in there and they did not face a contest in that playoffs before that series.
J.R. Smith on the team too.
Matthew Dellavedova. Delly had a series, baby. I remember that. Delly went off.
Oh, I can't believe
down 3-1 to come back and do that. And I'll never forget one of the greatest calls in basketball history. Mike Breen, block by James.
Block by James. On Andre Iguodala he went from the Nuggets to the Warriors. I hate to give it to him, but it's one of the greatest NBA moments of all time. Him, because he came back to Cleveland, back to Cleveland to do it.
This is for you.
And then he bailed on him. But hey,
remember, listener, you can now listen and continue to listen to the show on all major podcast networks, oh lordy, and YouTube. Please consider following and rating the show, and leave us a review if you listen through Apple. And we encourage you to follow our YouTube channel and Spotify. Just push that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Also, be a friend. Tell a friend about the podcast. Put those stickers up all over the place.
Everywhere.
Cody, back to you.
Thanks, JoJo. That almost does it. We have a big stat of the day. Chris, who is sponsoring today's said stat of the day?
Fellas, today's stat of the day is brought to you by Breakfast Beers.
Hey.
Love them.
Let me paint you a picture, dear juicy listener.
Paint it.
It's Saturday morning. The sun is already warming up your back porch. You've got a fresh plate of bacon and eggs sitting, calling your name. Joey, what's missing from this situation?
A beer. A beer is missing from the situation.
A tall, ice-cold breakfast beer to wash it all down.
Right.
Because it's Saturday. Your entire plan for the day is to make choices you'll have to pay for tomorrow. But that's tomorrow-use problem, so screw that guy.
Yes, it is.
Breakfast beers are the premier way to ensure you turn any given day into a day full of childlike wonder and toddler-like stumbling. And sure, breakfast beers are guaranteed to ensure that your to-do list turns into a tomorrow list. The greatest of ease. So sit back, strap in, and give your loved ones a front row seat to the shit show that is you after 7 or 8 breakfast beers. Breakfast beers. Because no day worth talking about started with Starbucks.
Breakfast beers quickly.
They turn into shower beers. You know, the shower beers are also some of my favorite beers. Then depending on the Saturday, that can easily turn into a grilling beer. And then that can turn into a gardening beer.
See?
You know, that could turn into a car washing beer. You know, that could, it could turn into a lot of different beers. And then at that point, then you're into dinner beers. So
And that's just a normal beer.
Yeah.
I was going to say that could also transition to the good old 1201 whiskey pour.
Oh, you know,
which I've done with you boys.
On Saturdays, I look forward to that 1201 whiskey pour. So
1201 whiskey pour.
I was like, we can do mimosas. You know, that's okay in the morning.
We should reach out to them about a sponsorship.
We should. The 1201 whiskey pour. They're good friends of ours.
No, you can do mimosas. You can do beer mimosas. You can do Bloody Marys. You can do breakfast beers. But if you're drinking whiskey,
spicy beers.
If you're drinking straight whiskey at 9 o'clock in the morning on your porch, that's
You probably got
that's
a
a
problem.
problem.
That's
that's
a
a
12:01.
So the 12:01 is where 12:01 is where
I'll never forget. I don't think Chris was over yet, but it was 12:01, and I came downstairs on the day after Christmas, and old Juice Boy Joe had a 12:01 whiskey poured for me and him. And I look at the thing like I'm still rubbing my eye. Okay, here we go.
Let's get it. Let's get
It's
after it,
afternoon,
boys.
buddy.
Yeah, we had Chris's ready to roll.
Yeah.
All right, guys, big juicy stat of the day, NBA version. We're turning into old men on our lawn, right? With the NBA, getting a little annoyed, lack of
Absolutely.
defense, not a lot of effort.
Absolutely.
Fairly frustrating.
Get
Well,
off
the
my lawn.
average scoring this year was 115, 116 points a game per team. The average team scored 115, 116 points a game.
That's a lot.
That's a lot compared to what we just said. 2007 Warriors 111 was number one. So
One.
number one. What is the average points per game in the playoffs right now? Has it fallen? Has it risen? What is it the exact same?
I guarantee you it's dropped.
It's dropped.
So, what is the difference? It is the biggest difference in, I think, NBA history between the regular season and increase or decrease, biggest point differential.
I'm going to go 104.6.
Wow.
Okay, we're bringing in decimal. I was just going to go 105, but now that feels shitty.
Oh,
Let's call it a 108. Let's go
He's
108.
going to do the Price is Right. I'm going to do $1.
Chris, you were right, and you didn't take it. 105.
Oh, it's so close.
No, you would have
so
won.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
You would have won it. But Joey with his damn decimals.
I was so close.
A
Not
10-point
worth a
swing.
damn if we're both making exactly the same pick. Like 0.4 off is just Joey
That's-
being a dick about it.
We're both
true.
really smart.
We're both clearly extremely
yeah.
smart. Yeah, we're crushing it here.
A sports podcast by the morons for the morons just said we're smart.
We're
Very
really
smart.
smart.
Extremely smart.
Can you believe that? That's the biggest point differential. That just shows that the players do not give a shit about the regular season. That really bothers
No,
me.
not at all. And it's remarkable watching these games. Like just that Game 7 that is going to haunt my memories, maybe forever as a Nuggets fan. I think that might have been one of the most soul crushing losses in Nuggets history, especially after how we were riding high after last year's win. And, but anyway, just watching the Timberwolves just say at halftime that they're just going to just say, I'm playing defense. I'm shutting these fools down. And their commitment to defense was incredible. Mm-hmm. And it's just, and like you said, it's appalling to know that they have that in them, that they could just do that whenever they want. And that's how basketball was in the 80s and 90s. And that's why when Jordan was scoring 37, that was like, oh my God.
And they're trying to their
Like
regular
that's
season.
like Wilt dropping 50. It was like that is absurd. He scored 37 and they only scored 86 points.
Yeah.
And so it's just like that's it. Yeah, I love playoff basketball for that reason. Because it's just like they really. But it just sucks because that's what makes me hate the NBA because it's like you can play like that.
You can do it
Why not
for
play like that all the time?
even 70 games of that. It's like, no, we really don't give a shit till after Christmas. And then we really, really don't give a shit till after the All-Star break. And then we really, really, really don't give a shit until the playoffs start. Really, it just bothers me so much.
It does because it could be such a great game. There's it's so
It's a beautiful
fun.
game.
Back and forth basketball at the end of the games is so intense. It's so fun.
Oh, yeah, it's a blast.
But it's not as much fun as that.
What, Joey?
Continuing this show.
Oh, no, fuck
I
that. We're ending this
disagree.
right
It's
now.
definitely more fun than that to continue the show.
Yeah. Okay.
Drag
That's
it out.
it for our
beat it to death.
show. That is it for our show. Guys, go follow the Instagram page. We're getting a lot of new followers. We really appreciate it. Follow the new content. Trying to get more clips out there of our ugly faces, beautiful faces.
Sometimes depends
Yeah.
on what I'm wearing.
Be a
Depends
friend,
on
tell a friend.
how
We
recently I've
appreciate
showered.
it. We'll let you guys know if Chris lives this next week from his whiskey endeavor from a 10-year-old.
It's questionable, boys.
It's questionable.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going great. I don't think it's
metal-
agreeing with my tum-tums.
There's metal and asbestos in there, so
Oh.
They cancel each other out, though.
Yeah.
The lead and the asbestos, it's
Yeah.
like two negatives. It turns into a positive.
That's
Might
right.
just
That's
catch on
right.
fire.
Yeah.
Science.
Follow us for more logistics and science. Love, love, love. See you guys
Bye.
next week.
Bye.